I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. This is my home.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Say hello to my little friend. It's a man, baby. Fuck you, retard.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Why so serious?
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
I am Iron Man.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Welcome, everyone, to the Lovely Man Show. It'll be the last time we do football until probably around the draft, and that's what's mostly going to go on, other than me and Billy just bullshitting, of course, when we're, sitting around talking shit. And I'm Cav Manning. He's Billy Body. What's up, Billy boy?
I am. The show's late this week. I don't know. We got very engrossed in our wrestling stuff. Our friend won the Royal Rumble, so it's not surprising.
Yeah.
I can say that, and everybody universally around the world knows that what the Royal Rumble is. I think it's bigger than I think it's like almost bigger than WrestleMania, because over here, he was doing like radio and stuff over here, and everybody knew that it was the Royal Rumble. Like, I think over here they think it's like some kind of, it's like a championship or something that he's won. But
it's we bet together, and you're gracious enough to have me, like, I send you money so you could bet for me in England, because they have great website for betting, 1,000,000 odds, all this. So Billy had told me, you got to get a VPN. It'll mask your, where you're at. So I'm like, this is great. So I get this thing from Norton. It's just an app. You type in VPN, and you could disguise where you're at and actually say where you're at if you want to. Like I said, I'm in London. Boom. And then I'm able to get into the website, right? So I'm trying to sign up to this thing, and I'm moving along. I'm getting past things, and then it says, verify who you are. And it's like, we need a license picture, a passport, bills, things like this. And I'm like, this is where I'm fucked. This is where I'm absolutely fucked, and I can't get past it. But if I'm sending a license, like I had told you, I said, send me your license, because I guarantee I could just change the name on there by Photoshop and put my face on it. And I would change the address, because I said, give me your neighbor's address. So, it'd be the same thing other than that. And because it's not like they're getting the strip on the back or anything like that. So I don't know if they run the number on it, though.
Yeah, they'll run the number on a license, yeah.
Well, then that won't work. So, I don't know. I might just cancel the VPN thing, because I got it for like 7 days for free before I got to pay for the yearly membership, But
I mean, at least you can use that to log in and look, at least.
Well, what is that going to do for me? I could go fucking, it's like going to a strip club. I could look. I can't fucking do anything.
Because you can still send me the money, can't you?
Yeah, but I don't want to fucking bother you for the most part. I mean, it's a pain in your fucking ass to have to do.
It's once a month.
I mean, if you don't give a fuck, but I mean, I'm like, I feel like I'm bothering you.
As long as you're not disrupting my max bet, on one.
That's an issue. That's a problem too, because you can't max. We can't go crazy.
You know what I did the next day? So basically they put out these WrestleMania, what will be the WrestleMania main event. And Drew and Brock was the favorite, but it was like joint favorite with Fiend versus Roman. And I absolutely hammered it for 150.
Yeah.
And then the next day they had this other market. It was like, what matches will happen at WrestleMania? Which of these matches will happen at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
It was like Edge versus Orton, and then
God.
Edge versus Styles was also on the market, and it was like Becky versus Shayna and Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley, and
easy ones.
A couple of Fiend versus Roman. So
Jesus.
I hammered all of my winnings because I didn't even withdraw them. I hammered all of my winnings into these Mania matches, so I can just wait to collect all of it the next day. like while I'm at fucking Orlando, because I'll be back in Orlando by then. Because I'm doing a crazy trip. I'm going Orlando and then for 4 days, and then Tampa at 4 days, and then Orlando 4 days. 4, 4, and 4.
You got to go to Hogan's Beach Shop, right? That's a must.
I've done that so many times.
Oh, really?
Like we went,
I don't know.
Yeah, we met Hogan in Hogan's Beach Shop.
Oh, that's cool. I guarantee, that place has got to be really jam-packed for that week.
Well, see,
I
haven't been to the new one in Tampa because he actually I didn't know this, right? So he rented a shop out. This is a wrestling show now.
We'll get into football soon.
He rented a shop out in a whole shop in Tampa on International Drive, but I didn't know that it was only a 3-month rental. Like he only had it during WrestleMania, and that's not actually. And then the shop relocated. I didn't know you could do that in the States, where you just
they have pop-up shops, right? That's what that is.
Well, this wasn't a pop-up shop. This was this was the biggest store on International Drive. Like he had the whole corner of International Drive opposite Coco Keys Hotel where I was staying. So it was right next to fucking Chuck E. Cheese, and there was Hogan there, and I was fucking forced to go to both places every day because Austin just liked to look around because he had figures, other WWE figures in there, and that's when I knew he was coming back after this racism thing because he had a WWE license, which you need. And they'd done him his own, like Hogan stuff, which wasn't available anywhere else. They'd like made it for him, like official, like Hogan tumblers, which WWE didn't have, but he had them.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd like said, okay, we'll do you this favor, like we'll manufacture loads of your stuff, but you can sell it in your own store, and then we'll sell it obviously when this is all blown over. So
yeah, it's Hogan. It's gonna be,
I still want him to have a match. I still want him to wrestle on this show.
I mean, they're talking about that, aren't they? That's a little whisper.
Yeah, he's got it. Like, I mean, that would just make this card complete because it looks really good at the moment. But I think we should move on. Let's move on from wrestling to Star Wars. Did you get my picture?
I did. I got your picture. Explain to everybody what's going on.
All right. So a couple of years ago, well, actually not a couple, 2016. I've never told you this story before.
I don't think so, no.
Oh, it's weird I wouldn't tell you this because it's quite fascinating. All right, so me and Austin were going to this Star Wars convention, and Mark Hamill and Princess Leia and a whole load of other people were there, right? Mm-hmm. So we're in the queue for Mark Hamill, and this is how it's devised up. It's 120 for the autograph and 140 for the photo. So it's 260 for both, and it's two separate lines, right?
Yeah.
So he's only going to do one thing first, then he's going to do the other.
Is this? So, I think this is. If this is the story of, well, I got one autograph, my son's supposed to get one autograph. You paid for both, and they're trying to throw you out.
No, not quite.
Okay.
You've definitely heard it before.
Okay.
Not miles off, but yeah, it's not quite what you just said. All right, So I paid for one autograph and one photo only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get to the front of the photo line, which is first, the autographs later on, and the woman says to me, "Who's having the picture? You or the kid?" I was like, "It's both of us."
Yeah.
She was like, "You've only paid for one photo."
Oh my God!
Like,
it is one photo.
She went, "Yeah, but it's only one person per photo."
Oh my God!
So she was like, "So it's only one person per photo." She goes, "If you both want to be in there, you need 2 tickets." Mark Hamill goes, what's going on here? And he explained it to me. He went, I heard him, and then he whispered. I overheard him say, "That's ridiculous." He goes, "Guys, come over and have a photo." He goes, "Come on, it's fine. Both of you come through." So then we come over and have the photo, and then because he was pissed at the lady, he then says, "You guys got you guys coming over to get something signed by me later?" He was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I just give me that. You got a pen? I'll do that for you right now." Right?
Oh, that's great.
So he signs the stuff there. One figure wasn't even meant to be signed. It was just I got Austin 2. One was to play with, and one was to get signed. But obviously, after he signed it, I'm not opening that now. So I got 2, right? And a couple of other bits. And he was like, he goes, "There you go." He goes, "Now you can go get your money back and spend it on something for your son."
That's great.
Yeah, he really wanted to fuck. He was really angry at this woman. Like it's not even like anything to do with her. I think she's just like the convention, like just the queue operator or whatever, who was abiding by the rules. But I don't think he knew this was the rule to the point where they were not going to let this happen. I think he felt like that should have been a discretionary thing where, okay, if someone comes at a kid, that's one photo or whatever. But anyway, he just like felt embarrassed by it, and then he was like, "Oh no, you guys come over." He goes, "What you got? You got stuff for me in the bag?" And then just started signing shit that he wasn't even like meant to sign.
Jesus.
So out of this, like obviously, I have like I told you earlier, I was like, I've got an extra figure which was never meant to get signed. Obviously, now I'm in a process of like moving, and I'm looking at obviously offloading a few wrestling bits, but I'm looking at this piece and thinking, I have this twice. One actually says to Austin on it. The other one is just signed because obviously he said, "Have you got any more, or have you got any other stuff?" So he just started knocking it through. So he said he got Austin's name on it. He didn't ask me for my name, which has turned out to be a good thing because.
And you're towering over him, of course, because he's exactly. I think I might be taller.
No, we're all crouching down to Austin.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're towering over him just because you're taller than him by far.
Yeah. But you can see the photo, so you can see that it's all like legit. So, you know what I'll do is, if anyone is interested in this,
the signed action figure, I have a picture of it, and I'll tweet it out at Lingus Mafia. And so, if anyone is interested, let us know what your bid is.
I think the bidding should start at the minimum of what it costs for him to sign something, and then the value of the toy. So it should be like $20 plus 120, at least.
There you go. So $140 starting.
Pounds.
Oh, pounds. There you go. So that's probably about like 170 maybe for United States.
Yeah, but you don't think that people will buy it?
Yeah, there's always a niche group for this kind of stuff. I mean, I know a couple people, so I'll post it on my Facebook. And
yeah, I mean, I'm willing to listen to whatever. Like, you know, if you've got like a story, why this is your dream to own it or whatever, I'll hear you out. But
see, I'll put it on there and I'll say, would anyone be interested in a signed Mark Hamill Luke action figure? Contact me, and then I'll take it from there because I won't put a price or anything like that. I'll say, you know, what do you think? So
yeah,
and I'll tell them. I can tell them like the starting is at this. If you're willing to do that,
nice piece though, ain't it?
Oh yeah. And so I'll tell people, you know, if you're willing for this, you know, I'll keep your name, and if no one else is interested after a certain amount of time, as the same on your side, if nobody else is around, then maybe you just want to go, okay, I'll sell it for the starting off price to that person because no one else wants it. Otherwise, if someone else goes, well, I'll give you $200. Well, then they're in front. It's a live eBay. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, but I don't want like them to get my picture either. I mean, you can verify that it's real. That's enough.
Yeah, it's just going to be the action figure picture, and if they need verification, I can. So that's
like chop our heads off or something, because I know that one of the reasons I'm not putting this on eBay is because Mark Hamill removes everything from eBay. He's like the Ultimate Warrior. I think Warrior copied him. Ultimate Warrior used to do this.
Oh yeah, I remember everything was taken down from him.
Yeah. He used to be like, this is owned by Ultimate Creations, because you know he won his name.
I thought he just won Warrior. That's why he changed his name. Like, it couldn't be Ultimate Warrior, so he just legally changed his name to Warrior, so then he'd be able to do shit.
He's a strange guy, isn't he?
Or he was. So, football, there happens to be a game this week, and you know what? We should be like all those other fucking radio stations that's not allowed to say it. I go, you know, the big game this week, I hear it constantly. It drives me crazy. The big game, because they can't say SuperBowl because it's fucking copyrighted or something, and I'm like,
are you serious?
Oh, God, it's like crazy. There are so many that go, legally, we're not allowed to say it by name, but there's a superb game going on, like a very big one.
Why don't I say SuperBowl by name? Like, don't SuperBowl want it promoted?
You would think, but I think they're licensed with certain people that can do it. Like like if a store is having a fucking sale, they can't say Super Bowl sale. They can't use that name. And I don't know why, because it promotes them more, and it's not giving anything to the Super Bowl other than watch the Super Bowl. But it's not like somebody's going to go, oh, what's that? Let me watch that. Everyone fucking knows. So I guess it's just about not making money off their name. So it's constant. I see it on radio stations. I got to try to have one recorded so I could play it for you where they don't fucking say the name. It's just always the big game this weekend. So there is a big game this weekend, and it's the closest thing I've ever fucking seen for a game where people are having big fucking problems trying to bet. And I have some prop bets for you, actually, and I want to see what your thoughts are on them. Like quite a few.
What I'm seeing also? I'm seeing like the most split opinion. Obviously, that's because there's no favourite. I mean, but then in the betting, I was surprised that the Chiefs have moved out to 71%.
Yeah, there's a lot of money going on the Chiefs, and I guess the professional bookers are waiting so it'll go up to like 2 points, and then they're going to jump on the 49ers. That's what I keep hearing. So
what's 2 points going to be, though?
I don't know, because a lot of people are saying by 1 point. So it's like, well, if you had 2, then fucking helps. One of the prop bets was it's plus 135. And it's Kittle to score a touchdown.
Right.
So I think I would jump on that. Mostert to have, he's the running back who just went crazy for the San Francisco, but the other running back is going to be playing. So it wasn't like this guy was their main guy. He just filled in and did very well. Meanwhile, he was cut by 7 teams for a reason. And the Bears were one of them, actually. In that game against the Packers, the 49ers, all the points were scored by Bears. Can you believe it? I go, what the fuck? The only points scored was by Bears. Mostert, his over-under for carries are 15.5. So I'd say under. These are all from like a professional guy who was on the radio that I was listening to.
When you were doing it, I thought you were going to like pick weirder props like the national anthem.
Oh, you know what he said? He goes, that and the color of the Gatorade. On Saturday, he said he would tweet out about the national anthem because you'll see rehearsal and you can get a good fucking bet for that. And then he says the day of, you'll hear about the Gatorade, and that's when you bet that. So these are actually like professionally studied ones, these props. Williams, the Kansas City running back, his thing is under 4.5 receptions, and you want to go under receiving yards as well because he's not going to be seeing the ball for receptions, they say. Hill, 74 receiving yards. They said take the under. He's only gone over that like 5 times or 4 times, which is surprising because you'd think, oh, he's the main guy, but they're gonna be blanketing him, so they'll be on other guys will be open. MVP of the game, the guy said to go because it's like big odds I think on certain ones, and he said some secondary for the Niners. You want to do Ward as the safety, and maybe D Ford on the line because he's trying to get a fucking revenge game here. Warner under 7.5 tackles. He's a San Francisco linebacker. They said it has to be 7.5. Some people try to give you at 6 or 6.5. They say don't do that. Only do it at 7.5 because he's like averaging 6. And then they're saying if the game gets to 56, take the under. But like right now, I think it's at 54, and they weren't comfortable with that. They said, if it gets high,
there's a high percentage on the over.
Yeah, and he's saying it's not gonna. He thinks it'll be lower scoring because everyone thinks it's gonna be fucking higher. But he's saying
72% Chiefs and 79% over. 54.5.
See, I was hearing a lot of people say, 30-something to 30-something. But you know how that fucking go. I mean, fuck, what happened last year in the fucking Super Bowl? 13-3? Whatever the fuck that was. Jesus.
That was meant to go over.
Yeah, that was something. So, what are your thoughts on the game as a whole?
I still haven't really changed how I feel in terms of I feel that the San Francisco 49ers will lead the game. And it will depend on if they can hold on to that and what the lead is by. Because I do think the Chiefs will. I think the Chiefs, if it's like a touchdown or whatever, I think the Chiefs will overcome. I think the Chiefs are going to win the fourth quarter no matter what. So I think I would almost be betting it like that in terms of quarter by quarter. Mm-hmm. Like San Francisco quarter 1, Chiefs quarter 4. The middle is going to really decide who wins the game. When they start the comeback, how many points they need to come back by, that kind of thing. But I do have a very distinct feeling in my mind that the San Francisco 49ers will be leading this game and the Chiefs will end up winning it. Like, if it's not too much to overcome. Because here's the thing, right? It's not there was that guy, that Stephen A. Smith, who likes to say things to rile people up all the time. He was saying that this you cannot take in a Super Bowl, you cannot take this one quarterback over the other. He goes, you cannot back Garoppolo, but he cannot win this. He cannot win this game. But the thing is that, and he started going on about how he averages 104 yards a game per game in the 2 playoff matches, right? Mm-hmm. But has he not just already won 2 games?
And Stephen A. Smith doesn't know shit about when it comes to football. He knows basketball, boxing. He's okay. Like he had a whole rant about football, and like the guy he was talking about was retired. He didn't even know. The thing is, like, they go, oh, look at this many yards. He didn't have to fucking throw the ball. It wasn't like he missed fucking people. He threw 8 fucking times. They had 7 yards per carry every time they handed off the ball against Green Bay. As a good coach, you go, why would I ever throw the fucking ball? 0 fucking need, just because I need to fucking be cute and make my own fucking plays and go, I want to have razzle dazzle. No. You play and fucking win. I'm handing off the ball every fucking time. If Kansas City hands off the ball and they're fucking running it at a clip like that, Mahomes is never going to throw the fucking ball. There's no reason to. So the problem is if the Niners get behind, and that's always the thing. The Chiefs never fucking start off hot. So if the Chiefs start off hot, I think it's over with. But I mean, fucking Garoppolo also... He beat the fucking Saints when he had to drive down the field at the end, too. He fucking marched right the fuck down. The thing with the Niners that's scary is they're not great when it comes to mobile quarterbacks. That's where they've had their problems. Arizona almost beat them twice. They pulled it out of their ass both times with Arizona because fucking Murray's fucking running around like a fucking crazy person. Fucking the MVP in Baltimore, he ran around everybody. That was their fucking problem there. Mahomes could fucking run around. So it's going to be one of those to where if he gets outside the pocket, there's going to be problems. But they're going to be trying to do that whole contain shit and have him held in. The other storyline that goes around is, everybody has the rooting interest pretty much for the Chiefs because of Andy Reid. They want him to get his fucking championship. They like Mahomes. And they go, look at the 49ers. What is one thing to root for them for? They've already won 5 championships, so you go, fuck off. Garoppolo has championships and is fucking handsome, so you don't fucking like him too. The coach, he's only 40 years old. He has plenty of time to get fucking Super Bowls.
That's what the guy was saying. Like he kept calling him like porn star Jimmy can't do this and porn star Jimmy can't do that. And it's like saying, well, They won all the other games, and I know it's different. I mean, I saw a girl coming on and saying that she thinks the Chiefs will win because they'll find a way to stop the run, and then it will come down to a quarterback matchup, which they can't compete with. So that made a bit more sense, in where she has the opinion that they will stop the run, But
if they stop it, that's a big if, though. They got a great. They're the old school football that everyone should be. Great defense and great at running the ball.
But you know what? I think because they stopped Henry, I think that's convinced people.
Yeah, it does. But it helps me, but at the same time, that wasn't
the line. But why is the line not 3 or 3.5 then? If the people that count are not convinced.
Well, I think it's the Niners are 500 times better than the fucking Tennessee. Both sides of the line, they're fucking better. It's pretty much the quarterback and the receivers that are better on Kansas City. So if their line fucking boasts up, if they stop the pass rush, they fucking win the game. But that fucking pass rush is a motherfucker, and they're fucking going to be coming. That fucking Bosa's not a fucking joke either. And it's very fucking, it's hard for me to even like picture that the Niners are going to lose this, but it's very fucking difficult. I see it too much. They're just a good fucking team, and I don't think they even really get their due. Like, they've lost 3 games, and people are like, yeah, but, I mean, you were like that up until the destroying game against Green Bay. You're like, they're not that fucking good, because Atlanta got them. But, I mean, everybody gets bit. I mean, the fucking Packers got bit by fucking San Diego, too. There's always a shit team that'll fucking get you because you fall asleep. And I think that was the Niners. They put all their balls on the wall against the Saints. And then they went home all proud of themselves and relaxed and went, it's only Atlanta. And they got fucked. Now it's like, all right, everyone's concentrated. Everyone's fucking going for it. Another thing people were like, oh, fuck the Niners with because their coach is like, he won the sperm lottery. He's Shanahan's son. So he got an in right off the bat. I mean, there was no, I got to go find a fucking way to get in the NFL. He was fucking raised in the NFL, so a little easier to get your foot in the door. It doesn't take away from him being a great fucking coach. But at the same time, when people say great coach to me, I said, you know what? When they had Jimmy out last year, they won how many fucking games? A couple? 3, 4? I think they were 4 games last year they won. And I said, well, the quarterback was out. Well, if everyone says the quarterback's not the fucking greatest, then how come he made that much of a fucking difference? And at the same time, you go, okay, well, when Tom gets hurt, Belichick seems to fucking still win. So it's like he's proven he's a fucking great coach, So I'm like, well, the team that they have, I mean, they did have injuries a lot and stuff like that this year. I mean, there's a lot more puzzle pieces like Bosa and being there and stuff like that, and Sherman being healthy, So it's like, well, the team is together and has their shit, right, and good guys, and everyone's playing. So I think also if fucking Garoppolo got hurt this game, I don't think they're like, oh, well, I'm going to coach a great game. And I mean, then they're like really going to stop the fucking run because that's all they're going to fucking gear up for. So I think it would be a different fucking world. But that's my thought. It's very, very, like anybody always says, when you can cover your ass both ways, I could see both teams winning. And it's funny because you could see both teams winning by a fucking point at the last second, and you could also see both teams blowing out each other, which is fucking bizarre. Like, you could see, like, that creeps into my head that this is going to be a fucking rape in one direction for some reason. And if it was a rape in one direction, I think it would be Kansas City raping the Niners. I don't think it would be the opposite way. Mahomes is too fucking good. It's hard to bet against him just running around making time, and then Hill is a mile away from somebody, sprinting, and he throws it and fucking nails him and doesn't pull a Mitch and throw it 5 feet past the fucking guy when he's wide open.
I think I almost feel like the blowout will be the other way. I don't know why. I just feel like it will be a case of they get ahead, and just like they did against us, and then it will be people thinking that it's the Chiefs, like they've done this before, and all of a sudden when they're pressurized,
they're fucked
into playing like 4th and 3, and making it or whatever. Then they'll create turnovers, and then the gap will get bigger. So it won't be like 10; it will turn into like 17.
See, we've seen how it looks because we saw them getting blown out for a while. So you could actually see that happen. You go, Well, I mean, otherwise, because on the other side, you go, well, I've never seen the Niners get fucking beat to shit. Anytime they've lost, it's been by a fucking point at the end. So, and also, I think the Niner thing, I think their competition in the playoffs was not good, despite you thinking that Green Bay was good. I always thought they were a fake 13 wins because they had a shit division, obviously, and they have, the easier schedule because of where they finished the one before. So they had to go through them, which I didn't think was a big deal because they killed them earlier in the year. So they showed it was like, well, we already know them. Minnesota, we both don't think is fucking anything either. So it was almost like they got the luck of the draw going in those playoff games, plus the better schedule, where obviously they had that 3-game rough fucking patch where they lost to, Baltimore and beat New Orleans. But other than that, it was like, well, there weren't fucking rough games. By the time they saw anybody, it was like, well, that team wasn't that good, and they seemed to, they beat up who they should. They're better than those teams. But they only had a couple that were really trying, like, these are tough games, and it was like Seattle in their own fucking division, which sees them often, and they always got in their fucking ass. But other than that, like, I don't think their playoff, I don't feel they had to fight real teams in the playoffs. The Bears fucking swept the fucking Minnesota. It was like, I'm like, Minnesota it's Kirk Cousins too. I don't fucking buy it. And they were at home, so they beat the fucking piss out of them. I think Kansas City just had to play a tougher schedule as well as a rougher fucking playoff, even though it's Tennessee, who we were all like, all right, this is bullshit. But Tennessee, look who the fuck they beat, which was like, Jesus Christ. They fucking beat the shit out of fucking Baltimore.
I think if you're looking at the start of the season, if you're looking at the playoffs, obviously they've gone on and beaten the Patriots, but you're looking at the playoffs, Tennessee and Houston were right at the bottom of the market. They were right at the bottom. Neither of them were really even supposed. Texans, they were like 2.5-point favorites against the Bills, but really a lot of people that week were picking Buffalo, I remember, and the Titans were definitely not supposed to come through against the Pats. So these are two teams that should have been out in week one of the playoffs, and they weren't. So. And then, for Kansas City, you're looking at a dream route through. San Francisco knew what their route was going to be anyway, all along. The Vikings was probably a surprise.
Well, yeah, we figured it was New Orleans was going to at least win that fucking game.
Yeah, and then New Orleans wouldn't have won in the cold weather of Green Bay, so it would have been San Francisco versus Green Bay anyway. But for me, it's difficult because I don't want the 49ers really to win because of the whole they shouldn't be number one seed. And last week, I didn't want the Rams to win because they shouldn't have been there either. And 49ers shouldn't be here because they should have been the 5 seed and they wouldn't be here if they were. But now that the matchup comes around, I do see them winning the game. I'm going to wait and see not winning the game. I do see them having a better chance of winning the game is the right way to say it, in terms of I think that they'll be out ahead. And I think that if you're betting this game, that you want to be on the 49ers at the start because if you want to bet the Chiefs, wait. Because I guarantee you there will be a point in this game where you get better than that -1. I think you may even get points or you may get the money line at plus money. But, even if they don't even think about it, if San Francisco have the ball first and they score first, aren't you immediately going to be having the better odds on the Chiefs?
Immediately, right off the bat. If they score first and Kansas City doesn't score on their possession, then that's when it moves. You got both have the ball at least once.
Well, if 49ers score even before the Chiefs have a chance, it will already move. Like it's going to move immediately. Even if they score 3 points, right, on their first possession, the Chiefs all of a sudden don't become favorites. That's just how it works. Obviously we're counting a lot on first possessions and whatnot, but regardless of that, the way that they've started slow every time, and the thing is why I think the Chiefs will win in the end is again going back to this bye record now that Andy Reid has, because this does count as a bye. Like this counts as a week off.
But then what's his fucking choke record too? he fucking fails in big spots, and he
but
fucking.
But those haven't been off like bye weeks. So I believe.
But
it was like
I don't know if you got to cancel it out because it's big games he has fucking problems with, and bye weeks he's good with. So it's like putting that breaded butter on the back of a cat and dropping it. Which way is it gonna fucking land?
No, it's much bigger number. Let me have a look. Hold on, Andy. I'm gonna just Google Andy Reid. It's probably going to be
because he always fails in a fucking playoffs. He's been to the Super Bowl one time, and fucking Patriots beat him, of course. But other than that, that's another one that people are always nervous about. They're like, Andy Reid. I'm like, the guy's still, I would say, Hall of Fame. I'd take him in a fucking heartbeat. But they worry about him choking.
All right. Andy Reid is 17-3 off a bye in the regular season. But Andy Reid's post-bye record extends to the playoffs.
Sure.
Reid has only had a bye week in the playoffs 5 times during his 21 career. And during each of those 5 years, he's gone undefeated coming off a bye. So there you go. He's unbeaten off a bye in the playoffs. So he's 17-3 plus 6-0, which makes him 23-3 off a bye in his career.
I was going to say 3 losses.
No, but he does lose in the playoffs, but he's never lost off a bye.
Yeah. When he has no time, then he's got a problem. He's too busy having a burger to study.
But the thing is, off that bye, they were getting trounced by the fucking Houston Texans. So I don't know. I still like my direction to go in. I'm going to wait. I think the Chiefs will win, but I'm just going to wait. I'm going to get the 49ers first and then try and buy myself out of it because I don't want them to win. They cheated. They don't deserve to be here. So
before we go, here's a little story about Patrick Mahomes for you, and then we'll get out of here. He was eating dinner with his girlfriend in Kansas City, and everybody in the restaurant knew it's him. They they look at him, but no one went and bothered him. They let him eat. And after he eats, he gets up and he walks to the door, and he turns around and looks into the thing, and everyone turns and looks at him. And he said, "This is why I love living and being in Kansas City. Thank you all for not, for letting us eat in peace." And then he paid for everybody's dinner at the restaurant. I said, "That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty good, man. That's having some money too."
Who told you that?
That's online, actually. That's on NFL Instagram.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, enjoy football, everybody, and happy betting. We'll recap what happened next week, and then we'll get into other nonsense of the show, which is where the show's really going to heat up, I think, because it's going to be us just bullshitting. Which there's a lot to talk about because me and Billy just bullshit on the side without a recorder going. So once the recorder's going, you're gonna hear people getting roasted.
Yeah, there's actually like stuff I want to get to in terms of like having these guests back on, girls and certain guys. Like obviously there's guys I know that are interesting to have on as well. I want to start going through some of these Netflix shows, especially the fucking Hernandez one, which I can't believe you've not been watching.
What's it called? Oh, Aaron Hernandez one. I got you.
Yeah.
And you know what I might have to play on the next show is when you voice texted us in the group about Derek. I might have to play that.
Why do you find that so
I was
funny?
fucking. I'm driving around at 5 a.m. and I'm fucking howling out loud. It was so great. Oh my God. I'm going to have to play it for everybody. Maybe, how about I play it after the show? And that's the little Easter egg. After this show, I'll hit play because it'll be so far back in our fucking talkings, I won't be able to find it after that. So it's Billy talking about the steel cage, but I'll only get it to the part where you go off on Derek Montilla. It's just so good.
I still can't stand Derek.
Of course, you fucking horse-tooth jackass.
Because the thing is that the whole arrangement, like now we look at what everything's happened, right?
Yeah.
And they're like dead in the water. We're still like going on, but we don't, it's not, the level of commitment is lowered. But I mean, look at how it didn't work out for everybody since he came along. Like everyone was damaged because the thing is, we were going to break. The thing is, me and Nick may never have even broke off if he hadn't come there because that like.
Uh-oh, Billy faded out. Yeah, I guess Billy dropped off the fucking planet. So yeah, he's bothered by with Derek jumping on that steel cage. It was him being a fucking bore and just straight up taking over the shows. And when Billy was supposed to just review SmackDown and the other people were reviewing Raw, then SmackDown was good, and he's going to lobby to his buddy, hey, let me do SmackDown. It's like, fuck off. So that whole Steel Cage Network is now like not even a wrestling podcast anymore. They talk about the fucking movies, and the original people aren't even on there. So that's that. But we'll get into that next week. That's a good cliffhanger with Billy. So listen now to a voice message that Billy left and his thoughts on Derek Montilla. We'll see you next week.
And that's not a show that you go back to listen to. Like, if you leave it, you leave it. You ain't going back for Derek. You're not going to be like, oh, I really got to hear Derek's take on this. No matter how good Derek thinks he is, he's a fucking bore. And I don't understand how he's verified. And I don't understand how he's on any kind of radio station. I don't even understand how the fucking cunt has reproduced. How anybody, no matter how fat she is, let her put his fucking dick in her is just an insult to women. Like, that woman has no self-esteem letting that fucking horse tooth apple-eating cunt like put his dick in her. And the thing is that his ego has single-handedly destroyed the podcast, because the thing is that there are other guys that hate him. I hated him and I left and fucking did my own shit. Other people hate him and they just left. So little Josh's fucking love affair with Derek has been the death of that show, other than the fact that obviously they have no personalities between them in order to build an audience or even maintain one.